my office here. As I mentioned, big storm just right now here. A bit of rain, heavy winds are blowing. So there is likely that may for a few seconds or so the connectivity may be dropping down. If everything goes well, I hope we'll be able to go with the presentation. And the new education policy, orientation and sensitization. It is by and large to all of us policy in place. We look forward to have the time coming up will be very important in terms of making best possible way of this policy. Ensure that the good amount of human resources will be developed as per the demand, because nowadays, because of the digitization, because of the high, I would say the intervention of ITC in the education has given us a lot of scope for making use of it to strengthen the ecosystem for the country, so that not ability of the people, but at the same time, the decision making necessity of the economy, strengthening the communication, every aspect of our country is going to have a manifold kind of a benefit of this new education policy. So in looking at that particular aspect in the place, we will go with the important highlights of this NEP 2020. And across the country now, this NEP is actually trying to come up with its fruitful, kind of implementation, various system in place. And I'm sure this us for transformative reforms in the country, especially in the education system for equitable and vibrant knowledge society. So we look for this is going to help school level to the higher education, wherein every beneficiary of this part of it going to come out with the very systematic and value addition, as well as the knowledge-based domain. So as we all know that in the school curriculum framework, curriculum structure has now going to be replaced the 10+2 with the 3+4 kind of a strategies that ranges from the preschool from the age of 3 to 6. This particular NEP is also focusing on the foundation to rigid separation between the arts curriculum and extracurricular activities. So what is important and strengthening aspect of this is actually all across the country, the students or the beneficiaries are going to have many important lines, very important aspects associated with it, especially in terms of having multilingual, coming from one particular background of his mother tongue will also give an availability of the syllabus in their own language. That particular investment in terms of the reached to about a 6% to the earliest possible time, which will help to generate good, well-informed, highly aged humans as they come out of the system. So emphasize on this NEP is about the technology integration, which will also help in developing the online courses and digital infrastructure. Of course, the vocational education is going to be with the mainstream education right from the class. The entire NEP is going to focus on this and the entrepreneurial aspects for the students. Then the higher education reforms also going to include what we are looking as a multiple entry and exit, which will allow the students to get large amount of benefit depending on the need, depending on the situational aspect. They actually can exit the system with some credentials with them, and that will have to happen with the academic bank of credit. And we'll also have now the university are at the moment largely focusing on the fundamental science. We'll also have a multidisciplinary through this NEP, so that various aspects is going to be possible. Now, this is also going to have a bit of academic and co-curricular autonomy for the colleges and the universities. And this is very important, especially when you look for the academic institutions which are kind of demography and of localized requirements. So this help to strengthen the ecosystem as and when the need is there from their own. So we also look for, we will have an integrated national research amount of research in terms of the higher education, in terms of for the science, technology, research, and domain of the education system will have a one where this NRF is going to play a significant role. Now, having said all the points, still there are good amount of challenges that we could see based on the idea that new NEP is likely to have. Is the first and foremost is the teacher training programs, teachers training development program will also going. Now, integration of new technologies in this also going to be important to realize when it comes to the various aspects of science, arts, commerce. So this will also rise to give us an idea that we'll have to have a setup for and disciplinary institutions, which will also in terms of the academic credit bank. So to start with us these challenges one by one, so that we will be able to see any especially the context of teachers training. Now, when it comes to the teachers training, teachers are the most comes and the students' future. So NEP recognizes need for continuous development of the teacher, and teacher should be well equipped with all the necessity in terms of the quality, infrastructure, in terms of the need of making it to happen. So improving the teachers' quality is one of the NEP to transform the education in India. Now, at the same time, now batch educations and all, those amount of curriculums are going to be, having a different durations. So for the high quality, education requirements, now the B.Ed gets integrated education program, the rigorous curriculum training. We also look forward to have national and state level councils for teachers' educations to regulate the teacher preparations and their standards. It will opportunities through the universally availability of offline courses and the training programs. So in a nutshell, what is important to emphasize and realize that this NEP is actually to expect a lot out of the teacher. It becomes essential that our teacher community will have the expertise in terms of multidisciplinary as well as the multidimensional aspects of a teaching learning aspect. This also is going to provide additional development of especially online and courses for the training programs. This is also going to give us the rewards exceptional teachers opportunities and career pathways like mentorship roles and more administrative responsibilities. Realize that the teachers, those who are able to use of it and adopt facts and learn the schemes and understands the training aspects and uh, deliver to the best of its ability to reach out for more opportunities for that. So in a way, the increased investment training, infra curriculum development and capacity building is something that we look for. Now, in terminology and integration technology is concerned, the entire curriculum is going to be focused on the student-centric teaching methods. It's also going to have an emphasis on the conceptual understanding rather than the score. Conceptual understanding really going to give them a state-of-art learning, which is going to have a very focusing outcomes based on the studies that they carry. Also going to have help for shift from the rote learning to learning. So of course, when it comes to the experience, it will also happens through the sports, arts, craft, and vocational training programs. Also have to have a use of multimedia, virtual teaching, learning tech, and it will also have an important aspect associated, which is a flexibility, multidisciplinary curriculum for the century skills. So, two national digital educations and training. So, to have all those digital aspects associated with it, so it will help courses Swayam platform for lifetime learning, so that the every aspect which is being taught, which is being used for experiential learning will always be available as a required. So it will virtual labs, digital repositories in the schools. So easy to access available material for the as per the requirement base. So it will also look forward to have a R&D and multidisciplinary institutions where use of such institutions and doing the research. So NEP also strengthen the research culture as the core function of universities, because system is going to provide the facilities for doing research at the early age with the necessary tools and techniques available for the students. Is address the national priority because we this system in place, the local issues or the problems can be tackled with help of the available resources, infrastructures in terms of higher education requirements from the nearby areas. So this will definitely encourage the public-private partnership and international collaborations for the research. Because these facilities are going to help in the larger context when the people try to collaborate, cooperate with each other, and will focus more on the area specifics and the problems which aspect will help to solve problems there. It will also serve to establish an ecosystem where research inform teaching and advances frontier of knowledge. So these are all the important points that we look forward. And more advantage with this NEP is that large amount of degree education institutions are likely to have more eminent public to be granted academic and administrative autonomy will also be there. These are some of the important points that one needs to and get into the understanding level. Now, key initiatives to boost the research under the NEP that helps to understand and realize that key initiatives to boost the research under NEP is going to is new national disciplinary research, which will provide incentive education institutes and outcome, which is also likely to be one of the outcome and initiatives of this NEP. So, which will also level through the credit-based research opportunities, which will help in the larger context and for the larger. Am I able to hear me? Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
The electricity failure was also there.
Yes, sir.
Hello, sir. Can you hear me?
हाँ सर, आपका आवाज आ रहा है सर.
आ रहा है ना? Okay, ठीक.
Yes.
So, yeah, thank you. So I was just trying to. I'm just trying to make the screen bigger. So these are all some of the points which I wanted to emphasize, especially the key initiatives to boost the research under the NEP. So we look forward to have establishment of NRF to fund the both individual and multidisciplinary research, which will provide the incentives to the higher education institutions based on the research performance and outcome, which will also promote the research at the undergraduate level through the credit-based research opportunities, which will also help to develop the Atal Research Universities solely focused on fostering the world-class research in India, and set up a new national educational technology forum to drive the collaboration and research in the education technology, which is also going to look forward to have increase in the public investment in terms of the research from 1 to 2% of GDPs to realize the vision of transforming India into the major hub for innovation. So ultimately, the point here is to understand that certain amount of support for the R&D will also come from the public-private partnership and will also help to research becomes an essential to create a new knowledge, drive innovations and progress in any field. So till this particular point of time, what is important here to understand in terms of national education policy, that this particular policy is going to help all of us to really get ready for the doing the R&D aspects in terms of the research for the demand-driven research based on the solving the problems at the local level and develop the informed decision makers, so that once the people or the students comes out of this education system, they will be able to find themselves more suited to tackle the problems of today and tomorrow, so that the tools and techniques that they learn over the period are going to help them not only to for the employability of their own, but in the larger context, those issue, those particular problem solving scheme or skill will help for developing the nation, which is with the high skill and knowledge as per the need of the national issues. So with this aspect of national education policy, we really look forward to have a large amount of scope for the people, especially those who are going to be the beneficiaries of this NEP, will really going to have large amount of easy to access kind of facilities. They will be able to equip themselves with the large amount of tools and techniques which are demand driven, which are going to be required not in terms of only for the job seekers, but ultimately problem solving skill as well as the employability will also be increased. And ultimately, all these aspects are going to help for the nation building when it comes to the high quality work, high quality accuracy, as well as the success of the entity is concerned. So these are all the certain amount of expectations through NEP. And when we look for the 2047 as a developed nation, these are all the steps which are going to help for the larger context to have those infrastructure ready and available for everyone, so that the things become easy and becomes accessible to all. Now, with this particular amount of ideas and information, we'll now shift from there to what this my area of work is. In this, we'll try to specify the points and we'll look into the more aspect detail. So the point here when we look for is how the National Innovation Foundation here, we also going to help for this new NEP in terms of helping those people in the larger benefit, so that the what kind of work that we carry out here in the National Innovation Foundation, so that all the problems that are being looked forward to have the solutions with the new education policy, we also look forward that this particular institutions will also become an kind of a roadmap, kind of an ideal, kind of an institutions where people will come forward, will make use of these institutions to and join the hands together, so that the solutions to the local problems can be addressed with the amount of knowledge framework, required infrastructure can also be accessed through all these kind of institutions. Now, here onwards, I will be focusing on the role of National Innovation Foundation here, as we are the autonomous institutions under the Department of Science and Technology, and we look forward that by this kind of methods, by this way of understanding the problems, um, uh, I think we'll no, what basically the point emphasizing here is to give an opportunity for larger amount of section of society to come forward, do the collaborative, cooperative, and coexisting structure, so that the local level problems can be sorted out with the available ready to use kind of technologies which are being governed, which are being developed by this, what you call it as a grassroots people. Now, here in National Innovation Foundation, what we basically do, that at the first level, we do the scouting, documentation, and definitely with the help of scouting, we generate the documents, and we also try to make the database of all the data that we collect together and try to manage in a systematic way. And today, NIF has become a national, official registry office for the grassroots innovations scouted all across the country, which also, help us to realize the potential of the, great, I would say, the people of the country at the countryside when they are trying to solve the problems of their local needs, and with the available resources at their level. So, with the help of these kind of database managements, we further try to look into the certain amount of innovations or the ideas which has got a potentials to do leapfrogging, which also allow us to do the what we call disruptive kind of developments which can help us, disruptive technologies can help us to really help the society in the larger context. So there, in the process of doing those scouting and documentation, we now identify these kind of innovations coming from the grassroots level, and spend a certain amount of time for the value addition and doing the research and development on the problems that we collect through this scouting process. Now we have a biennial competitions through which we really try to generate, we try to get all those informations, collect those informations across the country, try to get many traditional knowledge or outstanding knowledge from our country, and we also try to not only to collect and maintain into the database, but we also try to validate those knowledge, try to do the verification of those knowledge and the claims that we receive while doing those data collections through the scouting and documentation process. Now, once those validation or the verification of the data happens, we identify a certain amount of innovations and the technologies where the certain amount of value addition in terms of the S&T help that idea or that innovations to scale up with the required kind of an ideas and required kind of a material support. Those innovations can be upscaled, can be value added, and once that also happened, we expect that this kind of technologies start giving the good amount of results. And in the process, when we identify such technologies, such knowledge, such outstanding, traditional knowledge, we ensure the uniqueness, the distinguishing characteristics of those ideas and innovations. And then we also try to protect those knowledge, protect those technologies, protect those ideas under the intellectual property management, so that the justice to the people, those who have performed large amount of work for the not only for the collection of the data purpose, but making use of all those ideas and the tools and techniques for the in the interest of the largest section of the society. So while doing that, we ensure that the credit remains with those people, those who are one of the important, characteristic or one of the important carrier of those innovation ecosystem. Now, while doing that, when we come up with the possible kind of value-added outcome, we try to make use of that for the technology commercialization. We try to grade the granted patents, and once that also happened, we try to with our mechanism of business development, if the idea has a large amount of impactful potentials to do the large amount of change in the society in terms of the drudgery reduction, in terms of the cost effectiveness, in terms of the helping to solve the local social problems. So, and of course, when it comes to the NIF, we only support such innovations which are green in the nature, which support the or maintain the biodiversity, which also maintain the ecosystem of the earth. And while doing that, we call it as it's a green innovation, and then only we try to promote such innovations with the help of business development. Some of the technologies we identify for the dissemination and demonstration purpose, and such identified technologies or the ideas or the innovations, then we further try to take it to the entire value chain of the innovation, so that if required, such technologies can be transferred to the private sector. Those innovators can also get the benefit, sharing as and when the outcome of that innovation start giving the results. And in the process, we also try to ensure that these technologies, these kind of ideas should be taken to the larger section of society with the help of diffusion and demonstration ideas from the NIF. So with this, what we can see here is that this particular grassroots innovation was never been a part and parcel of any of this innovation ecosystem. But you will see after the establishment of NIF, you will see that grassroots innovation started taking a good amount of space into the local problem solvers. And in terms of the Niti Ayog's India Innovation Index, these parameters have started influencing. And we see that when India started publishing the India Innovation Index, these social innovations or the diffusion have started helping to the people in the larger context. So the point to refer here is that when the technology reaches to us, it actually comes somewhere in the TRL level 1 or 2, and which is very crude in the nature. And as it develops, as it goes ahead, value addition with the help of enablers, we value add that into R&D aspect. And those R&D, with the help of this, we try to change the TRL of those technologies, those readiness index of the technology, as we progressively keep on adding value additions wherever possible in terms of the equipment, in terms of the tools, in terms of the technologies required there. Now, these are all some of the examples that you could see here. This is where we feel very proud to mention that we have played a very significant role, especially in terms of the technology intervention. And you will see that this technology intervention has helped many people, and to many of the aspects, especially that the innovations coming from a very grassroots level innovators have started giving the impact in terms of the socio-economy of the country. This is one of the example of one of our innovator named Sri Kishore Lal from Bikaner, who has developed a tractor-mounted groundnut decorticator, come a grader. A man who has realized the importance of in situ value addition when it comes to the on-site facilities. So this is a tractor mounted kind of a decorticator. And what is the benefit or what is the outcome of this? This is actually decorticating unit has a set of two cylinders and which has around 300 RPMs speed of drum, which actually can produce around 800 to 1000 kilograms of ground nuts per hour, and the fuel consumption for this decorticator is hardly about 2.5 to 3 liters per hour. And when it comes to the efficiency of this tractor mounted grounded decorticator, then the efficiency goes up to 97%. And when it comes to the cleaning efficiency, it is almost about 90%. So this innovator has got his patent granted, and it has a potential of the technologies for entrepreneurial venture, and the machine is useful for the custom hiring services. And the impact of the technology, it is a tractor mounted powered machine, can be for the in situ value addition and reduce the cost of transportations and increase the income of the farmer. So this is where you could see some of the example that our innovators have started playing a significant role in terms of the socio-economy of that community and the people at the point of discussion. So this is one of the another innovator, Shri Ajay Kumar Prusti from Dhankanal of the Odisha, who has developed a machine which is a paddy straw cutter machine for the mushroom cultivation. And here you could see that this particular machine actually gives the straw, which is a very well defined desired size one for the mushroom bed, so that they can actually grow the mushroom with good quality and with the good amount of required kind of fertilizations at the bottom level. So the amount of rate of work, if we try to calculate, then around 400 bundles per hour is the rate by which this machine produces, which actually can make those straw ready for the mushroom cultivation, growth or cultivation purpose. So this is also actually going to help to reduce the manual efforts and increase the productivity of the mushrooms in the larger context. So here, this innovators also has got the patent granted, and which has got the potential to generate the livelihood for the people, and in not only in terms of the making the straws available, but also if the farmers have ready to accessibility for mushroom growth, that they can very easily grow that at their own level. Now, the another example that I'm trying to share is the innovation by Shri Subhash Ola from Rajasthan. What he has done is basically he has developed a modified boiler. Now, this modified boiler, if you look at, largely wherever there is a kind of required energy or the kind of energy requirements for the boiler is concerned, a large amount of wastage of energy used to happen, and ultimately that gives rise to the large amount of spending the money is concerned. So that the intervention of Subhash Ola in terms of the science and technology, what this boiler has become now, it actually recycle the used steam so that the steam which later on get condensed and drops its temperature to about 90 to 100%. So the condensed water remains at around 90 to 100 degree, wherein you just need to further supply the energy to this condensed water, so that with the minimum amount of consumption of the fuel, you start getting the more kind of an energy. So this is one of the example, and this actually help to reduce the fuel as well as the water consumption. And using this technology, it is quite possible to save the fuel and water consumption by up to 30 to 80% in terms of the boiler. Now, this Subhash Ola's innovation also, is actually looked as an potential of technologies for the entrepreneurial venture, and the impact of technology is concerned, and innovation has reduced the drudgery of manpower engaged in the refueling and refilling of water, and has saved thousands of liters of water and fuel by recycling the used steams. So this is where one can very easily try to understand the applicability in terms of the resources, in terms of the S&T, and then its impact when it comes to the drudgery reduction, value and cost of the cost of the requirements and all that. So these are all some of the interventions that we could see in from the National Innovation Foundation. This is another innovations that I'm trying to flash here, which is the eco-friendly wooden toy and vegetable dyes developed by innovator C.V. Raju from Visakhapatnam. I mean, largely we see that when it comes to the school, or rather, I would say the toddlers, most amount of toys that we could see are largely, have an exposures to the highly infected chemicals, and it becomes very difficult for the parents also to keep them away from such kind of an highly hazardous kind of an toys for them to play and enjoy. So CV Raju has come up with various kind of an and the games maker, and largely in yeah, system, wherein you could see that the color being used on this kind of tools, or these kind of toys are vegetable dyes found from the plants and the tree, which is non-hazardous for the child to use it, take it to the mouth, and then they still they will be able to enjoy these toys for the enjoyment purpose. So the potential, if you try to look at this technology for the entrepreneurial venture, then the sustainable and proven alternatives of the toys, polished with the unhealthy material. So when it compares to the what kind of toys are available in the market, these are all the very sophisticated, beautiful looking, and also try to sustain, or rather try to remember the old tradition of the toys for the people or for the students while in their early age group of their playing, and that they can see the impact of this. The hundreds of craftsmen from the village of these innovators are engaged for this purpose. So basically, this is also helping for generating the livelihoods of many people there. And we also look forward that such kind of an interventions become important for the people, or especially the young kids, so that they remain safe all the time when it comes to the requirements. Now, similarly, we'll go to the next innovation, which is the multi-tree climber developed by Sri Venkat from Coimbatore. As I said, large amount of innovations that you could see here are the demand-driven, localized problem solution solving capabilities. So when you look at this tree climber, large amount of the trees on the coastal areas, whether it is coconut oil, whether it is other kind of fruits and other things available in those areas. What becomes important here is to make use of these kind of tools and techniques for making the things easy to access, easy to use, and also going to help in the larger context. So this is another example which I have said for putting themselves into the very less risk zone kind of areas, because these are all the very well established technologies developed over the long period, and this is actually helping large amount of people. Now this is another sal lift plate or the bowl making machine. This is by the innovator Sri Jogendra Patra from the Mayurbhanj, no, Odisha. Now, the one of the important aspect that I must emphasize here is that during the FOIN program of Festival of Innovations occurred at New Delhi in the Rashtrapati Bhavan, the girl, which is a school-going girl, which has made use of this particular machines for generating the livelihood for their own level. Now, looking at such kind of interventions for the benefit of the large amount of people, these are also helping many of the people while solving their own problems, and also help to generate the livelihood. So here with this machine, especially in the Odisha, you see these kind of machines are able to generate the income for about 10,000 to 15,000 per machine per month, because the raw material is accessible in large quantity. This is another innovator who has made the job easy for large amount of drudgery reduction. This is one of the example one can see here. This Mallesham has improved the machine which is which is used for the silk sari making, and especially the Kochampalli sari. And he actually has developed the asu making machine, which otherwise requires a tremendous amount of man hours, and of course this is also very painstaking efforts that one has to do for making one kind of a Kochampalli sari. Nearly a person has to do 9,000 times of iterations of this shoe making machine manually, but this is an automated one, and this help for a large amount of easy kind of working abilities, and this help this help to reduce the not only the time but the drudgery. And now the same work which used to take almost 2 to 3 days now get finished within a 5 hours, and almost because of intervention of this, now this the people there can actually make 2 saris per day, which was otherwise not possible. To reduce that, so such kind of interventions by our innovators have helped in a larger context, and that has also helped for generating the livelihood for the many innovators and the people around. As of today, this Mallesham has sold around 2,000 such machines, and this man has also the recipient of the fourth highest civilian award given by the government of India, called Padma Shri Award, which he received in the year 2019. And for the inspirational purpose, there is a film made on him, named Mallesham in the Telugu biopic for the inspirational aspect. So the point here to emphasize is that the people who are always been considered as the marginal people or the people with the marginal mind, but have a really great amount of contributions and great amount of no service for the nation. These are all some of our breeders, some of our agriculture farmers who has developed their own varieties with the various tools and techniques being adopted right from the what you call the selection process. And here you see the Sanjeev cauliflower, which he has developed and now actually can produce such kind of flowers which have a high amount of yield and requires a very less amount of water. So these kind of farmers, which we call them as a progressive farmers, are coming up with the good amount of interventions and helping many such people for generating the good amount of livelihood and also the income. There is another example of sorghum, which is in Marathi we call as a jwar. So this is another kind of a variety being developed by one of our breeder here, and you could see that this particular approved, or rather I would say the registered PPVFRA variety of sorghum is the highest best quality is that it is a well-purposed variety for both grain and forage, which is maturing between 10 to 110 days time and also gives the high yield, and it is a sweeter in taste and good for fodder quality as well. The tolerance to insect and pest and disease, and it also grows in all the 3 seasons for the good performance, and we call it as it is suitable for the drought conditions. Now, this is another example of an moringa, which in Marathi we call it as a shevgyachi sheng. So these are all some of the examples that our of progressive farmers have come up with various variety of the kind of material, I mean, kind of seeds that you could see here. And this is helping to the larger extent for the various farmers. And this moringa variety named as a Vishala, which got the PPVFRA registered variety. And this actually has a very good market price, and it is suitable for the organic cultivation. And this kind of various aspect that you could see that our farmers are doing at their own level and has a large impact when it comes to the sustainability, when it comes to the livelihood generation of the people. This is an Upendra rice, which is another example that you could see here, which is also variety which is resilient food and drought variety of rice that you could see here, which also has got the good amount of grains in that. And these are a few more farmers in terms of the what you call as a pearl millet, which is in Marathi called as a bajra. And there are some more varieties that you could see like onion. These are all the progressive farmers have come up with their quality of the work, and then products or the variety, and now they are giving the good results for the people. So the people or the innovators which are never got such kind of a recognition earlier, now these innovators or these breeders or farmers or progressive farmers are now started getting a large amount of recognition for their work, for their finding out or coming up with the new varieties, and now they have got a good impact for the larger context. And these are all some of the other examples from our Indian traditional knowledge system, which is you could see here. This is cataract kind of formulation that you could see here. This is herbal formulations for for the treatment of cataract. in the sodium cyanide induced cataract model. And here some of the pictures that you could very easily see that before treatment and after the treatment, what good amount of difference that you could see here. And this is been done in collaborations with the Bharati Vidyapit in Pune. And we have come up with the various kind of such outstanding knowledge and traditional knowledge and helping for the green innovation. And these are all another example of a multi-processing food machine, which is developed by a simple rickshaw puller. And now, after the intervention of NIF in the food processor, that you could see that this has been largely in demand for the people now. And this multi-purpose food processing machine has now also started getting large amount of demands from the various countries. Especially here, you could see that this Dharamveer Singh, who is the actual innovator, who was a rickshaw puller at particular point of time. Because of this innovation, now he is very easily able to manage his own business and now also has become a good entrepreneur. And all his products are also going all across the globe because of the good amount of efforts that he has put in and made that food processing machine available for all. Now you will see these are all some of the examples of our innovators, and they are not only just generating and developing our innovations, but they can also have a large amount of impact at the global scale as well. This is one of the example that you could see that one of our technology empowerment of innovation and entrepreneur has become important, and also technology transfer has also happened there. Now here also in terms of these boilers that we were talking about, this Subhash Ola. Now these boilers have taken up the place in the milk processing unit, plywood making, industry, textile industry, and also the food processing industry. And this intervention of Subhash Ola's technology not only reducing the cost of the energy production, but also helps to reduce the large amount of drudgery as well. So such kind of innovations are helping the innovators and the people as well. So these are all some of the examples that you could see here that innovations from NIF has really reached to the larger section of society, especially to the correction is part of the country. And now with these prisoners there are utilizing these technologies for the livelihood generation for them. And you here also you could see some of these technologies are being installed in the various parts of the country, and they are helping. Now this is another example of one of our apple and mango variety, which has been spread across the country. And we have also started getting a good results, which otherwise would have been very difficult to understand and realize, because this particular apple requires a specified kind of atmosphere to ripen the mango or the apple for the things. Now this is another example of our technology transfer happened in NIF. So this is a small adjustable walker that one can very easily see and access it. Here you can see that this kind of innovations have helped large amount of innovators. This is a small idea given to us by school going children, and with the large amount of interventions at our own level, converting those innovations or into the product. And this is one of the example of technology transfer by Shalini. Now she has started getting the royalty at various places. Now, all such innovations and innovators, when they get recognized at the national level, we also try to give them a scope for participation in the national, international kind of a platform. And it is likely that such kind of a people will get more and more recognitions when they are able to do the work. This is another kind of a technology transfer happened with the Swachhata Picker card. And this technology has also transferred to the industry. And this is also become a kind of an what you call it as a good amount of interventions by a very young boy, school going boy, giving the idea and making the prototype, and later on help to transfer the technologies to the private companies. Here it is a Srijan Innovation Private Industry, that his technology has been transferred and it is getting sold out at various places. Some of these technologies that you could see here, it is a paddy transplanter, which has been transferred, or technology transfer of this has happened with the John Deere, which is a very famous company in the agriculture instrumentation. And we have been doing such tremendous works with our another industry, Section 8 company partner, that is Nifentry, and we try to do that work as and when possible. So these are all the some of the social diffusion projects that we have in our own place, and also helping to convert from the waste to wealth ideas. And we have been trying to do that for a very, very large time. Now, the point to emphasize here before I conclude is that with the help of new education policy, the kind of curriculum, kind of technologies, interventions that we look forward, that should actually help the our young minds to go with the demand-driven requirements, and helping those knowledge for the benefit of the personal at the instant, but at the larger context, at the national and international impact as well. So this is our team here at the small scale, and we have been carrying out this work for the last 25 years, and we look forward to have your batch with us as and when possible based on the requirements. With this, I will stop myself, and I am ready to answer if there are any questions. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. Professor Rafiq sir, if there are any questions, I am here to answer. Or otherwise, if presentation, after this, if there is another kind of a presentation, we can go ahead. Yes. Thank you so much. I'm, oh, no, it's okay. Thank you.